Hello and welcome back to the Wild Hunt. My name is Beast and today we're back with, good old IxSHE Tell. Gonna make sure to pronounce Yex, am I right? I just found I'm mostly in it to just piss people off. Anyways, today I actually have some cider with me instead of the usual beer. And, as I've learned the last time I had these, they not only hold almost double, like not quite double, what an unusual bottle has. Like usual bottle, hold on, let me just grab this. Like the usual bottle I have has 0.33 liters. This one has 0.5 liters. So not quite. It's like, I'd say like these bottles hold like 3/4 or 2/3 of what this one holds. Then we also found out that there's also overall more alcohol in these. So today it's gonna be a fun part. Anyways, crap, I'm really starting to get nervous. It's the weekend and Yoshino and I are on our way to meet her mother for lunch. Oh, I understand why he's nervous now. After much indecision on what to wear, I'd finally settled on a safe choice, a pair of jeans and a black jacket. Ooh. Eventually, we arrive at the place we're eating at, Yuki's family restaurant, the Hourglass. So I'm guessing your dad isn't, then, from what we've heard before as well. That's not really what I'm scared of. Just, I haven't been dating for very long. Anyone would get nervous about meeting their girlfriend's mom.
まあ、逆の立場だったらわからないけど。確かに気が早いのはそうね。
Apparently her mom even politely declined the invitation at first out of consideration for me. In the end, though, she eventually agreed to meet us, as she was feeling worried about Yoshino. What are you gonna do if she decides she doesn't want her daughter dating someone like me?
それは私も困るけど、それこそ大丈夫でしょ?
Like, you are an absolute fucking honor student for some fucking reason. There's a reason why you became the student council president. You're putting in a lot of work on the daily, and you're actually rather smart. No way the mom would say no. Why is that?
だって初めてダメなら誰を紹介しようがダメに決まってるもん。
Well, let's be honest, for some reason, Hajime is just a Chad, without trying to. Like, there's different types of Chads. Like, he's more of the gentlemanly kind of Chad. Then there's Yamato, who's literally just all around a fucking Chad. Anyways, oh. I wish you wouldn't say these things. I can't stop grinning.
でもそんなこと気にしてるってことは、お母さんに気に入られたいんだ。
Well, of course I do. Want to be with her daughter. And I'd much rather have her blessing than not.
学園だけじゃなくて、
私
のお母さんも公認ってわけね。
Hold on, let's try that again. Does that happen again? It happened again. Hold on, let's just... Something like that. I might be anxious, but for our sake, I need to cultivate a good relationship with our parents.
なら気休めになるかわからないけど、印象は悪くないとだけ言っておくわね。今日は私の弟も紹介するって言ってたし。
Really? I didn't know you had a younger brother.
いるわよ。10個以上離れてるから、まだ小さいけどね。
No wonder Yoshino likes to help others so much. Like 10 years. Why were her parents doing it next to her while she was sleeping? Yeah, never mind. It's a bit too messed up to think about. Alba and I are only 2 years apart, but if he's that much younger than you, he must be pretty cute.
うん。やんちゃでわんぱくで、ちょっと手のかかる子だけど、可愛いわよ。
Hold on. They're kind of getting annoying and in the way, so I'm just gonna do this and flop.
元気すぎるところはあるけど。
Nothing wrong with that.
よしのー！あ、お母さん！
Look towards the person calling out to her. I see a woman with long hair tied into a bun, leading a young boy by the hand. I have to admit, she has a rather amicable aura about her, and I can certainly see the resemblance to Yoshino, especially in her eyes.
どうもはじめまして。娘がお世話になってます。
It's a pleasure to meet you too, miss. I'm Ninomiya Hajime.
ほら、よしおも。ちゃんと挨拶して。
Yoshino and Yoshio.
くらえ！スピニングドリル艦長！
Jab. Wahaha. Your fingers will never penetrate my iron cheek defense.
シリハドリだと？お母さんお母さん、このお兄さんのケツやばい。僕の指全然ケツから抜けない。
What is happening? Like just last, like I think last recording for IxSHE on the Yoshino-Route, we found out that good old Hiroshi was just a goddamn concho goddamn maniac as a kid.
お母さんもやってみなよ。
バカなこと言ってないの。ごめんなさいね。
Yoshino did mention that her brother was a bit of a rascal, but for boys his age, this is par for the course.
すげえ！このお兄さん超強いしかっこいい。ねえねえお兄さん、僕にも真剣シリハドリ教えてよ。
Sure, but be warned, child, this technique takes years of practice to master. You're gonna have to train every single day until your glutes are strong enough to snap a pair of chopsticks in half.
そんなことしてるの？
What? No, I'm obviously joking! Do you honestly want to see me sticking chopsticks up my butt?
それは
Well, I mean, just please don't. No.
ちょっと
Alright, let's try this again. What?
だってどんなことしてても初めは初めじゃない。お母さん、違うの、本当違うの。今のはなんていうか。
話の内容はともかく楽しそうにしてて安心した。
Yoshino smiles without the slightest hint of embarrassment. I've never seen this kind of smile out of her.
とりあえず中に入りましょう。先輩のお家がやってるお店ですごく美味しいのよ。
There's no point in standing around outside all day, so I lead the way into the cafe.
いらっしゃい、山吹さん、二宮くん。
あら、かわいい店員さんね。
Oh no, it's gonna come. It's the fact that she confessed to him as well gonna come up.
本当ですか？よく言われます。
True to form, Yuki is never one to turn down a compliment.
どうもはじめまして。いつも娘がお世話になってます。
山吹さんからお話は聞いております。お二人には学園でお世話になっております。結城彩香と言います。それではお席にご案内しますので、こちらへどうぞ。
Apparently Yoshino told her about this in advance. Yuki makes no attempt to tease us, and instead treats us with the utmost politeness. She leads us into the back of the cafe where I sit with Yoshino across from her mother and little Yoshio.
ご注文がお決まりになりましたらお呼びください。
こんなおしゃれなお店が近くにあるなんて、お母さん知らなかったわ。
私も先輩と知り合うまで入ったことなかったし、学生には入りにくい雰囲気あったけど、入ってみたらいいお店よね。
I didn't start coming into this cafe either until I got to know Yuki, but the food here is honestly delicious.
そうなの？それは楽しみね。
それで、お母さん、どう？
どうって？
はじめのこと見てみて。
But she's bringing this up right off the bat. To be fair, I am the one who wanted to know, but still. At Yoshino's word, her mom turns to look fixatedly at me. It feels like I'm being appraised. Actually, perhaps that's the wrong word. But I can't help but gulp under her watchful stare.
そうね。吉野が選んだ人だから、どんなかっちりした人かと思ったけど、話しやすい彼でほっとした。
Huh? How exactly did Yoshino describe me to you?
長年校則で決まっていた恋愛禁止を一人で覆した伝説の会長って言ってたわね。
お母さん？
Well, I guess that's technically true. But in reality, all I did was make Yoshino and the rest of the members help me on my selfish crusade for change. She was initially opposed to it, but eventually, after working with me, she found that she'd fallen in love with me.
それ私話してないのに。
Oops, should I not have said that?
ということは、吉野からアタックしたの？
そうとも言うけど。
Yeah, I remember. She kept going on and on about wanting to have an...
ヨシオは何食べる？フライドポテトとか頼んじゃおっか。
Her attempt to change the subject is far too abrupt to be effective at all. That said, I wasn't really planning to tell her mom about any of our inappropriate relations in the first place.
僕、バーガープリンスのポテトしか食べない主義なんだけど。小さいうちからそういうわがまま言わないの。でもお兄さん、さっき自分のわがままにお姉ちゃん巻き込んだって言ってたよ。それは、いいのよ。なんで？お姉ちゃんの彼氏だから？そうよ。はじめは彼氏だから特別なの。分かったらわがまま言わないの。
あらあら。
お願いお母さん。今だけは温かい目で見ないで。
Looks like Yoshino's family enjoys teasing her just as much as I do.
ほら、何も注文しないままだと申し訳ないし、さっさと注文しないと。お母さんは何食べる？フライドポテト？
できれば脂っこくないのが嬉しいんだけど、そうね。私はチョコパフェにしようかしら。
In that case, I'll go for the locomoco plate. What about you, Yoshino?
フライドポテトかな？みんなで分けられるし。
I'm not sure why she's so hung up on eating fries. After Yuki comes and takes our orders, Yoshino heaves a deep sigh.
もう、変な話で盛り上がらないでよ。はじめも、彼女の前でそうやって平然と話さないで。
二人はもう下の名前で呼び合ってるのね。
Well, we've gone through a lot together.
結果的には、はじめの方から呼んでくれたのよね。
It wasn't easy, let me tell you. From the night of the Halloween party to our special broadcast, it took a lot of work getting Yoshino to open up. But time it passed by in the blink of an eye.
吉野って良くも悪くも真面目だから、まさか恋人ができるなんて思ってもみなかったわ。
それ電話でも言ってたけど、私に恋人ができるのってそんなにおかしい？
そんなことないけど、恋愛禁止の学園に入学して、寮長までやってるじゃない。昔から妥協なんて言葉は知らないってくらい真面目だったから。
I've known Yoshino for a while too, and I've always thought she was a little clumsy with other people. I guess that's why I could never leave her alone.
でしょ？そうなのよ。
なんか、お母さんが増えたみたいなんだけど。
I never thought I'd hit it off with Yoshino's mom over something like this.
ようとはいえ、初めての一人暮らしだったから、折り合いつけて周りの子たちと仲良くできるのか心配だったのよ。
そうだったの？
お父さんだって家では心配してるのよ。
お父さんが？嘘でしょ？私がこっちに来る時だって一言もなかったのに？
ほんとよ。明日は部活の試合で外せないから、吉野の元気な姿を確認してきてくれって。
そうなんだ。
Her mouth curves into a faint smile. At this point, I can't contain my curiosity. I'm not sure if it's alright to ask, but since I'm probably going to have to meet him one day. Is your dad a scary person, Yoshino?
怖いというか、厳しい人ね。別の学園だけど、先生をやっててね。そこでも怖がられてるみたい。
Oh, really? Given that her father's a strict teacher, it makes sense that Yoshino was brought up on the straight and narrow.
でも言っとくけど、別に仲が悪いわけじゃないのよ。お父さんって、私の目標でもあるから。
Wow, I don't think many people would be able to say that about their dad. Speaking personally, I'd definitely be too embarrassed to admit something like that.
学園でも厳しくて、学生からは怖がられてるらしいんだけど。一度ね、卒業式を見に行ったことがあったのよ。その時のお父さん、たくさんの学生に囲まれて、すごく楽しそうだった。それを見てからかな。自分もあんな風に、みんなに慕われる人になりたいって思うようになったのは。
Oh. I feel like I'm beginning to understand what drove Yoshino to run for student council in the first place.
お父さんはそうね。ああ見えて心配性だから。ただ、恋愛が解禁になったって話を聞いてからかしら、だんだんと電話する時の声が明るくなった気がするの。
そんなこと、あったかな？
Do you call home a lot?
週に1回、少しだけよ。
はじめはこっちから連絡してちょうだいってお願いしてたんだけど、今じゃ吉野の方から喜んで連絡してくれるようになったのよね。
お母さん、あんまりそういう話しないでよ。恥ずかしいでしょ？あ、ちょっと寮の子から。
気にしないで。急ぎかもしれないし、確認してあげて。
You have different ringtones for each contact?
誰から来たか分かった方が、頭も切り替えられるし。
Guess I shouldn't have expected anything less from you. That sort of diligence has always been one of her strong
お
points.
兄さんからの連絡も通知変えてるの？当然でしょ？
Oh, really? It's kind of embarrassing. As a matter of fact, she said it. Yeah, I'm having fun and all, but this is making me so self-conscious.
あれ？お母さん、どうしてそんなにニコニコしてるの？
なんでかな？
何か話した？
Me, I haven't said anything. You've been sitting beside me this whole time, haven't you?
そうなんだけど。
I don't know what her mom's giggling about, but I'm too embarrassed to explain to her in
でも
detail.
今日は本当に来てよかった。吉野が絶対会ってほしいって自慢したくなる気持ち、よくわかったわ。
お母さん、それは。
Huh? I thought you said your mom was the one who wanted to meet me. She even turned down our invitation at first, right?
そうだったの？もしかして余計なこと言っちゃった？
いや、その、別にいいじゃない。会って欲しかったのよ。お母さんに自慢したかったのよ。だって、絶対気に入ってくれるって思ったし、そうすればこの先も、お父さんにだってはじめを紹介しやすくなるし、はじめだって、いろいろ申し込んだりするとき、堅苦しい空気よりいいでしょ？
What? Finish that sentence. For your?
そんなの。
Gotcha.
測ったわね。
From the way she's blushing, I have to assume she was about to say hand in marriage.
ったく、この子ったら。二宮くん、こんな子だけど、これからもよろしくお願いします。
Yes, of course. I'll do my best to make her happy.
ちょっと、何綺麗にまとめてるのよ。
Soon after Yuki arrived bearing our plates of food, and we continued to chat while digging into our food. We even ordered some extra dessert after our meal. It was a great time all around.
IxSHE Tell.
When we finally leave the hourglass, the wind had grown chilly and the sky had become dyed with red with evening hues. Looks like we stayed a bit longer than we'd planned to. It's been nearly 4 hours since we arrived at the cafe. Today time flies when you're having fun, but it really had disappeared in the blink of an eye.
今日は元気な吉野の姿も見れたし、楽しかったわ。二宮くんも、よかったらまたお話ししましょうね。
Of course, in the meantime, I'll try to discover more of Yoshino's cute signs that we can discuss.
そんなところ、やすやすと見せるわけないでしょ。それでもどうしても見たいって言うなら、私を思いっきり可愛がることね。いや、今のは違う。お兄さん、お姉ちゃんみたいな子が彼女でいいの？みたいなとか言うな！
Don't worry, she can be a bit of an airhead, but I like that side of her
ちょ
too.
っとだけ素直じゃないところもあるけど、改めて、どうかこれからもよろしくお願いします。
I'll do my best. I want Yoshino to rely on me more as well.
だからそこの間で綺麗に話をまとめようとしない！というか、ほら、そろそろバスの時間でしょ？忘れ物ない？
Mom and little brother check their pockets to make sure they have everything. If anything, Yoshino looks like their mother here.
大丈夫よ。あなたこそ、二宮くんに迷惑かけちゃダメよ。
わかってるわよ。お姉ちゃん、またね！しっかりお母さんの手伝いやるのよ。私がいないからってサボったら許さないんだからね。大丈夫！真剣尻はどりの修行だと思って頑張る！それはやめなさい。
Good luck with your training, little buddy.
煽るな！
Come on, let's go. Let it go. That bus is here.
もう。
それじゃ、二人とも気をつけて帰ってね。
またねー！
Bye. I hope you have a safe trip back home.
まあ、もう、帰ったらちゃんと連絡ちょうだいよ。
はいはい。あなたもね。
Yoshino's mother and little brother climb aboard and the bus doors close behind them. They wave goodbye to us through the window and we wave back as the bus departs. You've got a great family.
それは否定しないけど、こっちはなんだか、どっと疲れが出てきたわ。
Yeah, they did tease you a whole lot. Still, I'm sure Yoshino was having as much fun as I was. Can't believe you lied,
こ
though.
の話？
About your mom wanting to meet me.
それは、
Too bad I can't give her any more
怒っ
hearts.
た？
Nah, I'm glad you did in the end. I think she and I hit it off really well today. But mostly, it made me really happy to know that you wanted to show me off to your mom. You did, didn't you?
わかったわよ。最悪そこは認めるわよ。でも、だからって、私たちのことをあんなにいろいろ話す必要ってあったの？
Well, look. I'm sure she's curious to how you're doing over here.
そういうの、余計なお世話っていうのよ。
Your mom seemed to really enjoy hearing about you.
私が恥ずかしいの。
You tell her about all sorts of things that happen at school anyways, don't you? What's the difference?
変わるわよ。主に私のメンタル的な部分で。
She can be so sensitive about the strangest things.
まったく。ほら、私たちも帰りましょう。
There's still a bit of time before curfew. Why don't we take a detour on the way back?
そうね。はじめがどうしてもって言うなら、いいけど。
She feigns indifference, but I can see her shooting me furtive glances from the corner of her eye. You know what, maybe we should go straight home instead.
なんで？そこはどうしてもって言ってくれるところじゃないの？
It's getting a bit chilly since the sun is starting to set and all. Plus, you'll catch a cold if we stay out too long.
そんな風に言われたら、おとなしく帰るしかないじゃない。
So here's what I'll do instead. Pull her close and wrap my arms around her in a tight hug. That should warm you up.
バカ。また騙された。
I didn't trick you. I didn't say we're going home, did I?
それをへりくつって言うの？
Ah, maybe I am. Still, you don't seem to mind me hugging you. Seeing her smile is reward enough for me. While snuggling close to one another, we decide to take a small walk around town before returning to the dorm.
「お母さんたちも無事に着いて、ヨシオもさっき寝たところだって。
Yoshino tells me she'd been chatting with her mom over the phone after calling her to let her know we arrived safely at the dorm. Though it's already past 11 p.m., she had asked me to come to the lounge to talk. Yeah, she seemed to be having as much fun as you were this afternoon. I bet he seemed to be having as much fun as you were this afternoon. I bet he was tired.
私、そんなにはしゃいでた？
At least 1.5 times more than usual.
微妙にわかりづらい基準ね。
I'm only telling it like it is. She really was happy. So, what did you want to talk about? It's pretty late.
うん。ちょっと。
What's up? She snuggles up closer, resting her head on my shoulder. Want to cuddle? Feeling homesick?
ホームシックとは違うかな。甘えたいのはそうなんだけど。ねえ、はじめ。今日は本当にありがとう。
Where's this coming from all of a sudden?
だって、本当はお母さんが会いたがってるっていうのは嘘だったじゃない？そんな嘘に、はじめも付き合わせちゃったから。
Ah, that. Well, you're welcome. You don't have to apologize anymore.
うん。ありがとう。
I just had the weird thought of just biting into this, but I thought that the noise it does when rubbing against stuff is disgusting. So I don't want to hear the noise if I bite into it. Like, the material is flimsy enough to bite into, probably. But it'll probably hurt like a bitch, both in my ears and my teeth. Anyways.
でもね、きっとお母さん、本当に私のことを心配してくれてたと思うの。だからどうしても、こっちでも私は大丈夫だよ、元気にやってるよって見てほしくて。今日ははじめのおかげで、そんなお母さんを安心させてあげることができたと思う。
That's great. As long as I've known her, Yoshino's always been a terrible liar. But today, I didn't even realize that she'd lied to me. I'm sure that's because deep down, she truly wanted to reassure her mother she was doing well.
というわけで、そんなはじめには何かお礼を。
It's fine, really. Had a lot of fun too. It's enough of a reward.
お礼をって思ったんだけど、実は何も用意してなくて。
Worry about it. It's fine.
ごめんね。だから、こんなのお礼じゃないって思われちゃうかもしれないけど。はじめさえ良ければ、私のこと、好きにしていいよ。
What? No man alive would not have the same reaction hearing that. But we're still allowed, you know? Are you sure about this, Yoshino? What do you mean with this kind of... in this kind of way is sort of, you don't have to force yourself.
ほんと、無理はしてないよ。してないけど。
Yoshino?
はじめ、私に我慢しなくていいって言ってくれたよね。私を笑顔にしてくれるって。
You did say that.
だから、今日はすごく嬉しい気持ちでいっぱいだったよ。でも、はじめとはそんなにイチャイチャできなかったから、はじめので、もっと嬉しい気持ちでいっぱいにして。
I can't take this anymore! Can't wait any longer.
私の部屋、行こう。
And then they fucked! Yoshino leads me by the hand up the stairs through a silent hall and into her room. Oh god, that bed looks fucking amazing. I would adore to have a bed like that. That would probably be extremely fucking cozy. Yet then again, whoops. Then again, I was saying, looks a bit too square. Like, that's the only beef I have with this bed. It looks like it's just, like, the borders look like it's just white. Like white painted wood. But then here it looks super fucking soft. So I'm just confused. As soon as she locks the door, she throws herself into my arms. I love you too, Yoshino. Our lips naturally find each other's, and we exchange soft kisses again and again. I can't get enough. Yes, kiss me more, Yoshino. Ah, yes. This is totally not awkward. Help. The moment they went to her room, it was already obvious this was gonna be a sex scene. Why keep going? Why keep going? Seriously. We get it, Yoshino. Now, was any of that necessary? Was any of that necessary? No. No, it wasn't. That's the answer. No, it was not necessary. Help. Triple dots. Thank you. Oh, look at it!
会長たちおはよう。
Good morning. Yoshino and I walk to school together. Well, Yoshino and I walking to school together has become a natural sight for all the students at this point. A number of whispers had followed in our wake a few days after my school-wide confession, but most of that has stopped by now, and students have gone back to greeting us like normal.
Yamabuki-san, oha! Ohayo.
Man, they probably think we're inseparable. We spend most of the day together since we're in the same class, and even back at the dorm, she and I usually hang out in the lounge. Now that I think about it, while we don't often get much alone time, Yoshino is pretty much always by my side.
ねえ、ちょっと疑問というか、気になってることがあるんだけど。
What is it?
私たちが付き合うようになってから、冷やかされたりしたことないわよね。
Well, that social studies teacher did tease us a bit. Aside from him, though, I guess not. What's wrong with it?
いや、どうかしたっていうか、もっとこう、デートってどこに行ったの？キスはもうした？とか、そういう冷やかしがあってもいいんじゃない？先生じゃなくて、先輩や後輩、ましてやクラスメートにすらまともな冷やかしを受けてないし。
In other words, she wants the people around us to acknowledge our relationship. Seems Yoshino has a surprisingly girly side to her. Isn't that better for you, though? You always wind up getting embarrassed when people tease you.
ちょっとした憧れっていうか、恥ずかしがりながらも、のろけてみんなからキャーって言われてみたいのよ。別に私たちが揃ってる時以外でも、聞いてくれたりしてもいいじゃない。
I feel like she'd just turn bright red and run the other direction, though. Well, we can't exactly go and ask people to tease us, so I guess we just gotta wait.
Inomiya, os.
Hey there.
Hajime, ohayo.
Morning, Shuri. After entering the classroom and exchanging a few hellos with my classmates, I sit down at my seat. For my part, I try to think of some reasons why people wouldn't be teasing us. One immediately comes to mind, following that school-wide broadcast and Yoshino's reaction to it. Anyway, everyone's just trying to be considerate. Hey Shiri, can I ask you something?
Nani?
I don't mean to sound overly conscious or self-conscious or anything, but I've noticed that no one's been teasing us about our relationship at all, and I was kind of curious what the reason for that might be.
冷やかされたいの？
Oh, sorry, this is more specifically about Yoshino.
山吹さんが？
When I repeat to her about what Yoshino had told me earlier, her mouth opens wide in surprise. But then she smiled sympathetically.
おはようございます。お二人で何の話ですか？山吹さんが冷やかされたいんだって。
Supposedly it's been something she always wanted to experience. So yeah, I was wondering if there's any particular reason people haven't been teasing us.
よくわかりませんが、あれと関係あるんでしょうか？
That as in?
あれを見たら冷やかす気も失せるっていうか。
What are you all talking about? Huh. What's she doing over there? Following Shuri's gaze, I see Yamabuki sitting in her seat and staring at her phone while giggling gleefully. Maybe she's just looking at pictures of cats, but that smile of hers is so wide that it's almost obscene.
あれ、はじめの写真見てるんだよ。
Seriously?
後ろからチラッと見えちゃって、声かけたら慌てて否定されちゃったけど。
Don't tell me she's been doing this on a regular basis.
はい、ここ最近は頻繁に。
That's pretty embarrassing in a lot of ways. Well, smile's gone now.
あれはきっと賢者モード。
Sage mode.
一定時間はじめの写真を見ることによって、彼女は真面目になれるみたい。
It's like oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Is this basically her experiencing post-nut clarity? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I regret thinking that. What kind of meditation technique is that?
嘘。多分見られてるって思ったんじゃない？山吹さんって周りを気にしてる割には抜けてるところありますよね。
Still, even though she's wiped the smile off her face, her eyes are glued to that phone screen. What's she doing now, Shiori?
え？ただの変態モードじゃない？
That's kind of rude, don't you think?
だって、山吹さんについては、はじめの方が詳しいでしょ？
That's true. But I haven't witnessed this sort of behavior out of her before.
なので皆さんきっと、温かい目で見守っているのではないでしょうか。
Right. That's certainly a fitting way of putting it. Still, I should probably give her a heads
気を
up.
つけてね。
Relax, she's not gonna bite me. Hey, Yoshino.
はじめ、何どうしたの？
She jumps with fright when I call her name, hurriedly hiding her phone. If she doesn't want people to seeing her doing this, then why is she doing it in a crowded classroom? What you looking at on your phone? Whatever it is, must be pretty interesting.
それはチンパンジーよ。
I'm gonna get really upset with you if I look at that and it's in a picture of me.
じゃあ違う動物だから。
She basically just confirmed that it's a picture of me. Come on, Yoshino, cut the act and tell me the truth.
脅しもしないくせに私がそう簡単に白状すると思う？
Fine then, until you tell me the truth, I'm giving you the cold shoulder.
そんな脅しに屈するわけには。
What was that noise? Let's have that again.
いや、でも冷たくされたら悲しいし。
You sure about that? I won't walk home with you for an entire week if I have to. I really don't want it to have to come to that, but sometimes... But something has to be done before it becomes an even bigger problem.
こちらでございます。
Thank you! Yoshino hands me her phone, and on the screen I see a picture of me when I gave my big speech. Dang, you were right! That's one cute little chimp!
ごめんってば、はじめはすっごくかっこいいから。
Man, why was she even looking at this picture in the first
お願
place?
い、それはもう手に入らないデータなの。誰にも配らないから消さないで。
I wasn't planning to. Why exactly did you get this picture anyway? I just wanted to know why you were staring at it so intently.
これは、朝だけだとくっつき足りないし、せめて写真でくっつきたい欲求を抑えようと。
Why didn't you just come over and say so?
だって、そうしたらはじめを独り占めしちゃうし、バカップルになるかなって。
I doubt anyone would object to us simply talking to each other. Seems like a good moment to address the thing that's been bothering Yoshino. So listen, I've been watching you for a while now, and I think maybe the reason no one has the heart to tease you is because that face you make when looking at my picture.
そんなバカな。え、嘘よね。はじめ、みんなが一瞬で目をそらした。
It's time to face reality.
みんな、私たちの関係気にならないの？それ聞いて冷やかしたくないの？
いや、なんつうか、見てるだけで十分っていうか。俺らがそういうの聞くとしたら、会長の方に行くしな。
That's understandable. Guys have an easier time talking to other guys after all. It might seem like they had ulterior motives. They went out of their way to ask Yoshino.
あんな風になってて冷やかしたら、放課後までのろけ地獄から逃がしてくれなそうだし。そんな。あ、でも、二宮くんからならいろいろ聞いてみたいかも。
Why me?
だよね。会長ってその辺の加減分かってそうだし、こっちものろけで胸焼けしなくて済みそう。これが信頼の差なの。
I think it has less to do with trust and more to do with how hard it is talking to you.
でも、見てるだけでも仲睦まじくしてるのが伝わってるのってすごいわよね。
そうだな。
あれ？
You're embarrassing yourself perfectly fine on your own.
これが原因だったというの？
Someone's a bit slow on the uptake. There was a time when I wasn't sure what I'd do if another guy tried to make a move on Yoshino. But from the look of things, I have nothing to worry about. Well, that certainly is a relief. Can't help but pity Yoshino a little.
IxSHE Tell.
After homeroom comes to an end, light chatter fills the room as our classmates begin heading out the door. Walk over to Yoshino's desk so we can go to the student council room. Come on, Yoshino, let's get going.
今日って、あんまり仕事なかったわよね。
As long as Miminin doesn't add to our workload, we should be able to wrap things up pretty quickly. The phone. That's Aqua.
そういえば連絡するの忘れてたわね。
Hello?
会長、今どこっすか？山吹先輩もいないし、こっち大変なんすよ。
Wait, what happened? We didn't have any important appointment scheduled for today, did we?
それが、風紀委員や美化委員が予算の相談に来てて。会計はミミリン先生に拉致られるし、一人じゃ対処しきれないっすよ。
Miminin literally only exists for A, making people hate her, and B, getting the treasure out of the picture so we don't have to, so they don't have to make an extra character. Alright, just hang in there, I'm on my way. I'll bring Yamabuki along too.
よろしくお願いします。
Sounds like there's work waiting for us after all.
そうね。
When I glance at her, she flashes me a cheerful grin in return. Her smile is infectious. I can't help but smile back. The smile alone gives me the energy to get through any amount of work. That thought in mind, the two of us make our way to Hakua's rescue. Oh, adorable. How should I go about this? Well, Yoshino and I have undoubtedly been spending a lot of our time together, and since we started going out, we've yet to do anything that qualifies as a date. We'd bumped into each other in town the day after the Halloween party, but then walked home together afterwards. But I'm talking about an actual date, one that we plan beforehand, where we go out and have fun the whole day. I hope she isn't going to be upset with me for waiting this long. Maybe I should just text her instead. I pull up my phone, feeling vaguely grateful to have been born in a convenient age of digital communication. Tap out the words, so I was just thinking how we haven't gone on a proper date yet before hitting send. I should have just straight up asked her want to go on a date. But the text is already on its way to her phone. Well, whatever. As long as she gets what I'm trying to ask. Oh, that was quick. She doesn't get what he's trying to ask. I'm coming first now, just right. That's a hell of a lot of typos. She must have been in such a hurry that she swiped the wrong letters on her keyboard. That's not a mistake I'd expect from her, though. Did the word date get her that excited or something? I know you said you were coming, but how did you get here in like 10 seconds? Also, if you make that much noise, somebody's bound to see you. Could've just called me, you know? What are you talking about? You're being too loud! But yes, I was thinking it'd be nice if we could go on a date. No, it's not really that big a deal. Trying to fan away some of her agitation, I sit her down on the sofa. I pour her a cup of orange juice, but she drowns it in one gulp. She is overly excited, and it's adorable. If you're interested, we might want to come up with a plan first.
そんな、私にお伺いなんて立てなくてもいいのに。
Oh, she seems extremely gung-ho about this, to say the least. Then how about we do some shopping in the morning, eat some lunch at noon, and do some walking after that, then go home.
全部適当じゃない。そんなの計画性のかけらもないわ。
Honest God, a half-hearted plan is better than overly overly detailed plan. Just maybe add like, okay, and at this time and then that time we're just gonna be watching a movie or something like that. Just adding that should be enough, honestly. That'd be silly, Yoshino. What kind of boyfriend do you take me for?
じゃあ、実はしっかりデートプラン練ってくれてたの？
Girl, I was a virgin until only like a week or so ago. Do you really think I'd know how to plan a date?
なら初めからそう言いなさいよ。
I know, but just hear me out. The truth is, there are so many places I want to go that I can't decide. Since our town is a popular tourist destination, there are dozens of day spots in and around the area. That's the wrong way around. I'm an idiot. I want to go somewhere that we'll both enjoy, but there are simply too many options to narrow down.
そうね。確かにデートで行ってみたいところはたくさんあるし。
What kind of day would you prefer, Yoshino? It'll just be the two of us, so I'd like to hear your opinion as well.
どんな？
Roughly speaking, an indoor date, an outdoor date.
参考までに聞かせてもらいたいんだけど、初めはどんなデートしたいの？
Me? I guess I wouldn't mind going shopping at the mall or seeing a movie. Or maybe visiting the aquarium or an amusement park. If we were a little older, I might even suggest we go camping somewhere overnight.
なるほど。なんとなく想像通りだったけど、アクティブなデートがいいのね。
We could always chill in my room and watch a movie too. I'm more of an indoor guy myself anyway.
そっか。私もね、一緒におしゃれなカフェに入って、お互い頼んだものを食べさせ合ったり、夕焼けが綺麗なところを二人きりで眺めて、ロマンチックな雰囲気になってキスしたり。
She closed her eyes, narrowing her dreams scenario into a rapturous expression. Narrating, I mean, not narrowing. I'm a fucking idiot. Please, I've never learned how to read. I actually did. But you know, I need an excuse somehow. But since the days grow shorter at this time of year, we'd be hard-pressed for time if we wanted to watch the sunset by the sea.
それで、デート中、物陰に隠れてキスしたり、穴場スポットとかでイチャイチャしたり、最後に、砂浜でお互いを求め合って。
I think the last part is gonna be the hardest one. Despite the trouble we had deciding earlier, it looks like we both have our own ideal dates in mind. Putting aside all the specifics, I have a pretty good idea what Yoshino wants to do now. And a few things overlap with what I want to do too, so it's starting to sound quite feasible. The last bit is definitely a no-go, but everything else in between sounded good to me. Is there anything else you want to do?
エッチなこと。
That wasn't cuddle. She was not saying cuddle. I'm talking about the date!
デートとエッチってワンセットじゃないの？
You know damn well you're not trying to say cuddling! What kind of date would that be? Might be true for adults, but definitely not for us.
そもそも、男子と二人きりで出かけたことなかったのに、デートなんてハードル高すぎるわよ。
Cuddling on the first date isn't. I'm not even sure where she got that idea from. Probably a manga or some TV drama, but that still seems a bit extreme even for those. so hard about going on a date? You already have a boyfriend.
二人でいるだけでもドキドキするのに、それがずっとなんて、そんな。
What are you talking about? We've already spent a ton of time alone together.
気持ちの問題なの。乙女心は繊細なの。
I feel like that's just her, not all women. Well, anyways, let's try to have a wholesome, family-friendly date that we won't be embarrassed to tell our friends about.
それだと普通すぎて飽きない？
Nah, just think of it like learning how to cook. If you try to improvise without learning things the right way, you'll end up ruining the dish. Since we're both beginners at this, we should start with a normal standard date before branching out and doing other things.
そうね。確かに初めの言う通りの気がするわ。
Even though Yoshino says some strange things sometimes, I can tell she's being serious about this in her own way. So I should leave it at that. For now at least. We ended up talking late into the night about the plan for our date.
IxSHE Tell.
Oh man, I'm tired. Yoshino and I had agreed that meeting at a rendezvous point would make it feel more like a date, so we'd each left the dorm separately this morning. But when I arrived at Seaside Park where we were to meet, there still wasn't any sign of her. She'd ultimately decided to take a shopping trip to Victorian Palace and see a movie. We'd ultimately decided to take a shopping trip to Victorian Palace and see a movie or visit the arcade if we had time afterwards. There's still 20 minutes before the time we agreed on, so I guess it's only natural that she wouldn't be here. I've already heard that it's bad manners to keep a girl waiting, but maybe I still got here a bit too early. It's relatively warm out today, so I don't have a problem with waiting. But I should probably keep this in mind when it gets closer to winter.
はじめ、お待たせ。
Whoa.
何よ。
I've seen you wear that outfit before. You look 5 times cuter than usual. Not that you are normally cute.
デートなんだから当然よ。でも、褒めるなら、もっとこっちが喜ぶように褒めてほしいな。
Ho ho. I've made that noise. Now I can't help but think that, oh my god, you've momentarily turned to Kiryu from Yakuza Kiwami 2. Because whenever you drink something, or I think even eat something in the menu to heal, like you just, ho ho, and that's it. Like no noise of like opening a can or a bottle if it's like a drink. No noise of like opening a package or something when it's something to eat. Let you just ho ho for everything. For everything. Ho ho. Oh, he's gotten pretty good at that. I feel so touched that you dressed up special for me today. Thanks, Yoshino.
どういたしまして。
My pulse begins to quicken as well, but I chalk it off to her fresh new look. He might thought it was a pretty cheesy line, but I'm glad I made her happy. Ready to get going?
待って。一個だけ約束してほしいことがあるんだけど。
What's that?
もし知ってる人と会ったら、生徒会の備品の買い出しってことにしてほしいの。
I refuse.
なんで？
Why are you serious? Are you serious? Everyone already knows we're dating. What's there to hide?
それは、恥ずかしいからであって、
Oh, so you find it embarrassing to be seen in public with me? Understand? I'm just an ugly little chimp.
いつまでそれ引っ張るのよ。二人きりが嫌なんじゃなくて、ほんと、舞い上がっちゃって恥ずかしいの。
That's not a real problem.
あるわよ。主に私に。
Well, honestly, I would have been pretty hurt if she said she didn't want to be seen with me. But it's hard to keep myself from grinning. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying myself. Yet you're nervous and worried about this because this is our first date, but you're panicking way too much. Or is it because you're feeling too happy right now? Imagine that thrilled to be with me, but I think you're overreacting.
そうやって私のこと分析するのやめてくれる？
You're just too easy to read, Yoshino. Come on, let's get going.
待って待って、心の準備がまだなの。
The placement of her ribbon keeps changing and it's fucking pissing me off. Relax. We'll have plenty of time to get ready during our date. Bet you'll forget all about it once you start thinking of places you want to go, so let's use our time wisely.
昨日の私のバカ。もっと細かくプラン練ればよかった。
There you see, it changed place. It's fucking weird. The ribbon is alive. Feeling better now?
はい。
After buying Yoshino a bottle of tea to help calm her nerves, I plopped myself down on the bench next to her. Seeing how agitated she is helps me keep things in perspective, but she's not the only one feeling shy. But just thinking about this date makes you so embarrassed.
逆になんでそっちはそんなに平然としてられるのよ。
Well, one of us has to be together. But I can't exactly tell her that. I'm just trying my best to take the lead today. As long as you act normal, you might even see me embarrassed from time to time.
別に恥ずかしがってるところを見たいわけじゃないんだけど。でもそうね。私も見られてるだけじゃフェアじゃないもの。
Kind of brought it on yourself, though.
決めたわ。私、今日初めのこと、絶対照れさせてあげるから。
Flashes me an invincible smile. That's totally not gonna backfire on her. You really think you can manage that?
開き直った私は強いわよ。
Let's put that determination to the test, shall we?
ええ。私の本気、見せてあげる。
With that, we get up from the bench, throw away our empty bottles, and set off towards Vic's. Here we are. Boy, it sure is packed here.
今日って何かイベントってあったっけ？
We arrive at our destination to find the mall far more crowded than usual. At a quick glance, the majority of the people walking about seem to be families as opposed to couples or young people. Oh, it's probably got something to do with the live-action superhero show happening in the square.
なるほど。確かに小さい子も結構いるわね。
They're gonna meet her mom again, aren't they? Or Alba. Because Alba is gonna watch the superhero show because by God, I can just tell. Oh boy. Here, give me your hand. You gotta hold hands on the date. Or is that too much for you to handle?
いいわよ。つなぎましょう。恋人つなぎっていうの？あれはまだ照れが強いから、普通のつなぎ方でいい？
Fine by me. I can feel tits. As Villain cans, the distance between us naturally shrinks, causing her breasts to brush against my elbow. Although the sensation is somewhat dulled by her brow, the thought of feeling her boob through her clothes gets me more than a little excited.
どうかした？
It's nothing, just holding hands just feels nicer than I expected is all.
そうね。ドキドキするけど、心地いいというか、いいわね。
Wait, did she seriously not notice? Doesn't it bother girls when their boobs touch other people? No, let's not jump to conclusions. Calm down. It could just be a trap.
人多いし、先にお昼食べちゃう？
Good idea. Given the amount of people, though, we should probably eat somewhere else. Oh, it's close. I almost let slip my embarrassment for a second.
なら、もう少ししたら商店街の方に行って食べよっか。
Sure thing. In the meantime, we can stroll around and do some window shopping.
そうしましょう。今日は何見よっかな。
You don't have any in mind? I thought you were the one who wanted to come here.
デートといえばここっていう気がするし、デートじゃなくても十分楽しめるじゃない？
She walks out of me in high spirits. Looks like she really is getting serious today. Face seems slightly flushed, but she's managing to keep her cool. Well, if you haven't decided where you want to go yet, why don't we go check out what movies are showing first?
その点は抜かりないわ。事前にチェック済みよ。
She pulls out her phone, showing me a schedule of the movie theater's
ざっ
showtimes.
くりだけど、アクション映画が2本、子供向けアニメ映画が1本に、ホラー映画が2本って感じね。
The romance movies? That's unusual.
それよりも意外ね。初めのことだから、私みたいにチェックして見る映画決めてると思ったのに。
To be honest, I was going to, but then all that planning we did last night would have been for nothing. I wouldn't have suggested something if we couldn't decide. Would have suggested something if we couldn't decide, but I always thought the true fun of a date came from these spur-of-the-moment decisions.
ああ、なら余計なことをしちゃったよね。
She stows her phone back in her bag with an awkward expression. Don't apologize. I know you did it for me. There's no right or wrong to have a way to have a date. The important thing is that we have fun.
そうね。そういう楽しみ方も面白そう。なら映画じゃなくていろいろ洋服とか雑貨見てもいい？
That's good to me. Guess we better go this way then. All right.
ええ、2階の東フロアにそういうお店が集まってるから。
That was actually the case in that mall where I got my first apprenticeship as an optician too. Like the top floor was mostly like fashion and one singular GameStop. Not just one single GameStop, there was also one like shisha shop. That's what I don't know what else to call it.
「こっちの方はいつもと変わらないみたいね。
I'll have to take your word for it. This section is mostly women's clothing, so I don't come here very often. After riding up the escalator and walking a short distance, we arrive at the first floor of the building's second level. The West floor is where the men's clothing stores and the supermarket are located, and most of the guys there are usually accompanied by their girlfriends. Wonder if that's how we look to the people around us. Hey Yoshino, want to try holding hands together like a real couple this time?
恋人？その、はい。
We join our hands together, firmly entwining our fingers. Oh, there's something else. Feels like they're glued together.
そういう解説いらないから。
Boobs aren't touching me this time. You know what? Maybe we should hold hands normally.
そっちから言い出したのにどうしたの？
Can't exactly tell that I missed the feeling of her boobs. Why? Why didn't it touch me when we link our fingers together? Well, that is a little too embarrassing for me.
なんか怪しい。さっきまでそんな風になってなかったよね。
That is false. I think also we have such a good intuition when it comes to stuff like this and nothing else.
こういう時ってどういう時よ？
The truth is, I realized that I prefer holding hands the normal way.
ちゃんとはっきり言って。
I would, but we're in a public area, so...
エッチなこと？
Why is that always the first thing that pops to your mind? But you're right. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right.
だってお互いに挙動不審になる時ってそういう時だし。
You know me all too well.
私も恋人つなぎはちょっと刺激が強いから仕方なくだからね。
Thank you, seriously, thank you.
なんで手のつなぎ方で感謝されないといけないのよ。
It's one of the perks of being her boyfriend, and as a pervert, I couldn't be more appreciative. But I hope she doesn't find out. She might not hold my hand anymore. Can't let that happen.
あそこのお店入ってもいい？
Right. Anything in particular you're looking for?
小物とか可愛いのがあるかなって。
The store she leads me to seems to be a shop that sells hats and other accessories. A lot of the items there have fairly simple, modest designs. You can tell at a glance why Yoshino was attracted to this place. Speaking of hats, though, I don't think I've ever seen you wear one.
帽子って似合う人と似合わない人いるじゃない？私は多分似合わない方だし。
Bullshit. But it's starting to get kind of cold this time of year. A knitted hat could keep you warm, and I think it'd look pretty cute on you too.
ニット帽はちょっと女の子らしすぎない？
Well, you are a girl. Come on, just try it on. Want to see what you look like.
多分似合わないよ。ほら、似合わないでしょ？
This CG, by the way, is the CG that like I saw this CG before the game came out, and I immediately knew she was best girl. So, like this is basically the CG that won me over. Oh, they have a flat cap. Nice. Actually, I disagree. It's got a simple elegance to it that I like. I can picture you perfectly wearing that while jogging in the summer with a C t-shirt and rolled up sleeves.
何その褒め方？夏限定なの
Not necessarily. It's just got a very summerish vibe. You know, I like those girls you see at the beach who wear hats with a t-shirt over their bikini.
そんな風に言われてやるわけないでしょ？なんか視線がエッチなんだけど。
Because your body's so sexy, you should know. I wouldn't get excited a minute imagining you in that.
こんなとこでそういうこと言わないでよ。
Oops, I nearly forgot. What about that hat? It could work, in my opinion.
これは？
Looks like a hunting cap.
これっておじいちゃんとかが被ってるようなやつじゃないの？
One moment. Wanna say it again? Wanna fucking say that again, huh? Say it to my face. Come on, fucking do it. How dare you? How fucking dare you? You know, just because of this, rest of the part, I'm wearing this hat. I'm fucking wearing this hat for the rest of the part now. True. Fuck you too, Hajime! Still, that doesn't mean it can't look good on a young person. Thank you. In fact, I think it looks pretty good on you.
またまた。そうやって私をおだてたって何も出ないわよ。
You're surprised at how good it looks on you too, aren't you?
違うから、そんなこと思ってないって。
Come on, look at the mirror. Looks great on you, seriously.
そんなことない。これは私にはまだ早い。
How can you be too young to wear a hat? Here, how do you like this one?
キャスケット？
Oh, you know what they're called?
ええ、小さい頃これなら似合うかもって見てたことあったし。
Actually, wearing that hat along with these headphones makes it feel like the headphones are about to snap in half, so... Well, how does it feel now that you've got one on? It suits you even more than the other ones, if you ask me.
もう、さっきから似合ってるしか言ってないじゃない。
Because it's true, they all look good on you. And I'm not just flattering you, I really mean it.
本音だとしても、私のこと照れさせて、何が狙いよ。
You're way too hung up on that. But anyways, you do think that casquettes look pretty cute, don't you?
それは、まあ。
Cool. I'll go ahead and buy it for you as a present.
なんで
Why? Because I think it looks good on you, because I want to give you a present.
ありがとうございます。
No problem. Give me a minute. I'll go pay for it. Alright, here we go.
私も何か初めにプレゼントしたいんだけど、何かない？
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'll let you know if I see something I like.
そっか。それじゃあ、これ大切にするね。
She hugs the bag with the cascade to her chest, smiling more joyfully than I've ever seen her smile before. Seeing her this happy brings a smile to my face as well. Why'd you wear it for the rest of our date then?
そうしたいのは山々だけど、せっかくプレゼントしてくれたものをなくしたくないから。
It'd be a shame if you never wore it though.
もう少し寒くなったら、登校するときに使わせてもらうわ。
That'd be great.
じゃあ、今度西の方行こう。私の方はもう十分だから。
Okay, fair warning though, I tend to take a long time when I go shopping.
はじめと一緒にいられる時間は退屈しないし、こうやって一緒に物を見るのも楽しいから、構わないわよ。
Right, then let's stop by the electronics department first. I was thinking of buying a takoyaki pen and maybe a new smoker too.
急に目が輝き出したわよ。
But are they? That's a little embarrassing.
それだけ楽しんでるってことでしょ。
She squeezed my hand. I set off along the pathway at a leisurely pace to give her room to keep up. Afterwards, our date passed by in the blink of an eye as we wandered around the mall. Hey now, the date's not officially over until we get back to the dorm. Joey looks more than satisfied as I lead her by the hand back home. As we get closer to arriving, though, reluctance to part ways suddenly surges through me. Ah yes, as they get closer to reviving. Since we live in the same building, the end of our date doesn't necessarily mean we have to say goodbye for the day, but even so. Actually, earlier, as I was in call with somebody, I was playing Genshin. And basically, he mentioned that he was actually currently watching one of the IxSHE Tell videos of mine, and I accidentally said something wrong, and I just looked so disappointed in myself. Apparently, I said, like, belated lunch instead of belated lunch. And apparently, I looked so fucking disappointed in myself. And I can just imagine it, because that would be my reaction. Since we live in the same building, the end of our date doesn't necessarily mean we have to say goodbye for the day, but even so.
いいタイミングにここ通れたね。
Yeah, it's all familiar scenery, but it's just something about it that looks different than usual. As our feet came to a halt, she and I stared out at the evening sun sinking into the sea. Ah yes, the evening sea sinking into the sun! Our hands joined together naturally, and I give her a small squeeze as we stare into each other's eyes.
今日は本当に楽しかった。ありがとね。
It was an honest relief to see how happy she was with the present I gave her. She seemed to have had a lot of fun as well, so I think it's safe to say that our first date was a veritable success. I had a great time too. Let's do this again sometime. Wait, hold on. Why do you look like you're about to cry?
なんでかわかんないけど。ごめん。止まんない。
Feeling sad because our date is over?
抱きしめるな。
I had to do something. I don't want anyone else seeing you all teary-eyed. There. Do whatever you want until you stop crying, okay?
じゃあ、ずっと泣いてる。
Silly. And we both end up breaking curfew and catching a cold.
なら、もっとぎゅっと抱きしめて、暖かくしてください。
Your wish is my command. She nuzzles her face into my chest as I wrap my arms around her. You think they put, like... like the way they get that sniffle sound?
なら、もっとぎゅっと抱きしめて、暖かくしてください。
They just put her in a cold storage until she got a stuffy nose. Like, yes, for the next, you need to sniffle. Get the cold box, boys! Not the cold box, Sorg! But you gotta but you gotta sound like you gotta, like, just about to fucking burst right there. She nuzzles her face into my chest as I wrap my arms around her. I pet her head softly, taking in the smell of her skin and the salty ocean breeze. Feeling better?
もうちょっとだけ撫でて。
Sure.
こうやって頭撫でられるのって慣れてないけど、すごい落ち着くわね。
Maybe my hands have magical healing powers.
なら、そのヒーリングハンドは私だけに使ってね。
Lay on hands. Fucking paladins. Of course, they only work on you anyways.
ありがとう。
Wasn't sure if she'd enjoy having her head rubbed, but she seemed to like it, so it's good. Yoshino is more precious to me than anything, and I'd do anything to keep her happy. Losing track of time, I continued rubbing her head until the sun went down. Oh, adorable.
ねえ、仕事しなくていいの？
Yes. Oh, why did I start the intro? Am I fucking retarded all of a sudden? Help. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. That's what I wanted to say. See you. Bye.